Yo, what's going on everyone? My name is Eugeo and welcome everyone to my Sword Art Online Alicization Episode 3 anime review. In today's episode, really the major points in this focuses on two characters. Those two characters are Eugeo's character development and Silica's character development. Silica is Alice's little sister, which we get a little bit more in depth with her character in this, which is actually pretty cool. But let's kind of focus on the main part of this episode, kind of just starting in the beginning and everything like that, because I think I'm going to say this throughout a lot of my reviews of this show, just because it's getting to that point of I just want to know how Kirito end up in this world. How did he end up in the underworld? What is going on with reality right now? Is he okay? Is he still alive and hanging after getting hit by this syringe from Laughing Coffin? So it's still kind of my guess right there. Of course, this is his journey. Kirito's journey is to get to the central city, to contact Raft, to hopefully go back to the real world. But before he can do that, he needs Eugeo's help to do it, because he has no idea where Central is at. He doesn't know where to go or anything. The only reliable source that he has is Eugeo. But the problem with that is that he has a calling right here. Everyone in this world has a calling. Everyone in this world has a job. If you don't do your job, that is a violation to the Taboo Index, which of course the Taboo Index is that strict system, as we even saw in episode 1 of Alice, literally just a finger in the dark side world while she was taken by that knight and to be executed, and you guys know the story there. So Kirito, he needs to hurry up and try to destroy this demon tree with Eugeo for him to go alongside him to Central so that Kirito can get out of this world. But the problem with that was in episode 2 that this tree is so, it's strong. Every single generation, before Eugeo, everyone's job is to hit this tree 2,000 times every single day. And as we see from the tree right here, out of so long, since the underworld has been created, it's only left such a little mark. And Kirito knows, for example, that he can't survive this long. Eugeo, even though he's part of this generation, they have to hurry up and find a faster method to destroy this tree. Which brings us to a really cool part, which I liked in this episode, because it focuses on Eugeo's development as a character. We see him throughout the openings and everything like that, that he's definitely a main character beside Kirito. He's going to be really crucial and important to this story, that he can even become a swordsmith. And as we see in this episode, we see the Blue Rose Sword. This is the sword that was in episode 1, where Kirito, Eugeo, and Alice actually found it in the cave, which they were going to look for ice, and it was beside the ice dragon. Of course, Eugeo found it by himself. He tells a story about it, which, Kirito was there, but it's kind of this memory swipe that's going on right now, which I'm hoping we get a lot more explanation. Maybe the two will remember each other in the past or anything like that. But I give Eugeo props for this. I give him so much props when he was talking to Kirito about he wanted this sword, that he thought it was special, it was something really rare. It took this guy 3 months to drag it out of the cave to his hometown, which, by the way, he was a kid. This sword is probably really heavy, but still, that's dedication and props that Eugeo is going to become a really great swordsman in this anime. And we could even tell in this episode that, not just Kirito leaving a little bit of a dent, which this dent, it's not really huge, but especially since this tree and someone's been, hitting this constantly with an axe throughout all of these years, 300 years to be exact, leaving a damage like that with just a sword, and even Eugeo as well. So I think definitely, in the upcoming episodes right here, he's going to master this sword. He's going to chop down this tree just a one-hit attack, so that the village could be happy, they could harvest, they could survive and live, and Eugeo, he can be done with this calling and he can move on with Kirito to Central. So that's a pretty cool, interesting part right there that I'm hoping we get very, very soon for his character development, which will probably even be next episode. But I guess the other half, or the other important part in this episode, is we get really introduced into Alice's little sister's character, which is named Silica. So Silica, of course, is looking after the church. She's trying to be with the people, because we saw a little bit of flashbacks of Alice's character, that she was learning the sacred arts at the church. The sacred arts is kind of a little bit of a power, which, for example, she kind of took the flower, lit it up with Kirito and Eugeo to go inside the cave so that they could find ice. goblins. So a little bit of a perfect example right there that she could really get strong powers throughout, her generation, and that's kind of what Silica is learning at this point here as well. So we get a little bit of character development from her. We see her, talking to Keto. Keto saying to her, about her sister, about her, literally laying a finger at the dark place and she'd be executed from it. And we see that, in this episode that she goes to the mountains to kind of find clues and hopefully to look for her sister. But of course she stumbles upon goblins, which Eugeo and Keto need to help her find. But of course at the ending of this episode, they're in really big trouble of this boss goblin, all these goblins all around, facing against Keto and Eugeo, which of course, like I just said in this review, that Eugeo's going to have some sort of power. He's not going to be scared anymore, and he's going to wield the blue rose sword. And I can't wait for next episode. I feel like next episode is definitely going to be the action episode, which we all know from Sword Online, it's time to time here that eventually we will just get straight up action. That's a really key point of what SAO is, not just like character development or that, it's always, some part of action. So that's going to be really interesting. I'm going to be really excited. But yeah, that was really today's episode of Sword Online Alicization. I did really enjoy it. I focused, like I said, character developments on Silica, Eugeo, definitely important characters for this series. But yeah, I hope that you guys all enjoyed this. Thank you everyone so much for watching Sword Online Alicization. I can't wait for more. I'm glad it's going to be 50 episodes. It's going to be a good road ahead. But I guess my rating for this episode here, guys, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Definitely an episode I'd highly recommend if you are in love with Sword Online. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week for another SAO Alicization review. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.